Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be trying out the Revolution Beauty. This is called the Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer with vitamin C. And if you guys didn't know, vitamin C helps even out skin tones, really help brighten. And this concealer is supposed to really help give us a flawless finish, brighten under the eye areas if you deal with circles, if your eyes look a little bit tired, if you're looking for a little bit more of that brightness effect under the eye area. This is supposed to give it to us with a flawless finish. So today we're going to be testing it out. We're going to do an 8-hour wear test and just see, how does it look on, how does it blend, how much of a coverage does it actually give, what is the formula like, is there a scent to this concealer. Keep in mind this runs for $10, and I do have combination oily skin, so the T-zone area is basically where I get really oily. It separates, it creases, so we're going to be testing it out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's jump on in and try this on. I already applied foundation, and let me give you a quick run through of all the products that I've applied on. I will also have them listed down below in the description box in case you guys are interested. But for my lips, I went in with the Winky Lux Lip Sleeping Mask. This is something that I always use, and I love it. And then I went in with the Pharmacy Brightening Vitamin C Eye Cream, which I really like. And then for moisturizer, I went in with the Winky Lux Dream Gilly Facial Gel Moisturizer, which I really have been loving, you guys. And then for foundation, I went in with the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Correcting Foundation, Full Coverage Foundation. I went in and applied this on. This is in the shade Light 240 Warm, and I applied about 2 pumps of foundation all around. So we're going to jump on in to our concealer, and this is basically it. I personally really like the packaging. The only downside to this, just by looking at it, is that you can't see what shade you're purchasing. So if you're in the store or even just looking at it, you're not really sure if you picked the right shade. You won't know obviously until you open it up and apply it on your skin. If you guys didn't know, it has a little puffy applicator. I will throw an up close clip so you guys can see it. And I personally like having a puffy applicator. I'm used to it. One of my most favorite concealers is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and it has one just like this. You have to twist the bottom of it, or I think you twist the top of it for the Maybelline, and then the concealer rises up to the top and then you apply it on. So by twisting the bottom of the applicator, you guys, so far it looks like it's the right shade for me. It definitely looks like it's a neutral undertone. This is why I picked light instead of the second shade up, just because anytime when there's a concealer or foundation in the title of it or a description of the shade, if it says natural, neutral in it, it's usually the right undertone for me, just because I'm not too yellow and I'm also not too green. I'm kind of an in-between shade when it comes to specific undertones. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on basically on the areas where I personally like to conceal and give my face a little bit more dimension. This is supposed to be, covering any dark circles, making our skin look really flawless, have a nice finish, supposed to be able to hide, any redness or anything like that on our skin. So I'm really excited to try this out and just see, how much of a coverage it's gonna give us and how easy is it to blend, the consistency of it as well. So let's jump on in and try this on. I look a little ghostly, but don't worry, you guys. Once, I apply my setting powder and banana powder and contour a little bit in bronze, everything will look so much better. But so far, you guys, blending out this concealer has been really, really good. It blended really nicely. I like the finish of it. I felt like it definitely gave me that brightness that I'm looking for. And I do like the undertone. I feel like it works really well for my skin complexion. I do find it to be a little pink, but so far it worked really well with the foundation that I used, and so far I really like it. So I do want to mention that the consistency of this concealer is definitely more of the watery side. I don't find it to be medium to full coverage. I do find it to be something that I would suggest you, if you want a little bit more coverage, let it sit on your skin for a second and then blend it out just so you can get a little bit more coverage out of it. But so far I feel like it covered the hyperpigmentation on the top of my cheekbones and that it didn't make it look gray or anything like that underneath. So far I'm really happy of it. It doesn't have a scent to it, and I liked the applicator. Like, it fit perfectly under the eye area when when I was applying it on. And that is basically it, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing my makeup off camera. It usually takes me about an hour, hour and a half to finish getting ready. It is currently 10:26, you guys, and I will check in with you in a bit and give you an update if I had any issues applying on my makeup or if I noticed any separation, creasing, or anything like that. Keep in mind that I do have combination oily skin, so we're going to be checking throughout the day and seeing, you know, if there's any separation, creasing, especially since the T-zone area is where I get the oiliest, and this is basically where I apply this concealer. So this will be really interesting to see, you know, how my skin reacts to it throughout the day. We're going to be doing an 8-hour wear test, so I will check in with you guys in a bit. Hi guys, I am back. I have finished getting ready, and it is currently, let me check the time, 11:44. Basically took me like an hour to get ready, so yay for me. And this is basically it. Let me give you an up close clip of how my skin is currently looking, and so far my skin looks really, really good. It definitely brightened. It did really well with the rest of my makeup, especially with the banana powder, and so far I really like it. It definitely has a really nice finish to it. It has a really like dewy finish once you apply on the concealer, but once you set everything out, so far everything looks really, really good, and it worked really well with the rest of my makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, film a few more videos, go on with my day, run around, do a few errands, and then I'll check in with you guys in a few hours to give you my second update on how my skin is currently looking. Keep in mind, I'm not gonna use any blotting sheets or anything like that. I'm gonna allow this concealer to do its thing. And keep in mind, again, that I have combination oily skin. So the T-zone area and the areas where I've applied this concealer, girl, is basically where it separates, creases, and becomes a hot oily mess. So I will see you guys in a bit. Guys, it is currently 4:04. I have worn this concealer for over 4 hours, and this is basically it. So let me give you an up close clip of how my skin is currently looking so you can make your own judgment. And by the way, you guys, if you kind of notice that the makeup has kind of been removed around my mouth, it's because I had lunch, and then I did a lip swatch review video, and the lipstick that I applied on, it was really long lasting and it was so hard to remove. I was even using a makeup removing wipe and it was just kind of, it left a stain. So I did my best, but we're just gonna go ahead and judge the concealer, you know, on the rest of the areas around my face. But I do want to mention that my face is starting to look pretty oily. I have not used any blotting sheets or any powder or anything like that. I've allowed this concealer and my foundation to run its course today since we're testing out this concealer. And so far I'm noticing that there's a little bit of separation around the nose area. I'm starting to see the concealer settle on my smile lines, which is something that I've never noticed my foundation or concealer ever do, and it's just slightly. So that is the only thing that I'm kind of noticing and kind of getting a little worried, just because it's making more of an indentation on my face. And I'm noticing there's a little bit of separation going on at little areas throughout my face as well. So that's the only thing. I'm getting a little nervous just because that's something that I've never noticed with any of my foundations or concealers. So we will see. I will check in with you guys in a few hours to give you my last and final check-in and, you know, give you my overall thoughts on this concealer. So you guys, I will see you in a bit. It is now 7:01. I've worn this concealer for over 8 hours, and this is basically my situation right now. My T-zone is looking really oily, you guys. Let me give an up-close clip of how my skin is currently looking. And to be really honest, I know in the last clip I mentioned that, you know, there was creasing around the nose area, settling in around the smile lines, and obviously that's something that I don't really deal with the concealers that I've used. They don't do that on my skin, so I was really surprised. But now that I think about it, I don't feel like it's too bad. I don't think that's something that someone would notice when they're looking at me or talking to me. I think that's just something that I would notice personally by looking really close to the mirror and just kind of looking for it. I feel like definitely my T-zone's looking really oily. It's kind of separated and kind of increased a little bit of the texture on my skin, which is something that I've never really dealt with before. And I don't know if you're going to notice that on camera because it's not too obvious. So that's the only thing. But I feel like I have other concealers that give me a little bit more coverage that wears a little bit better than this one for me personally. For this concealer, I feel like I picked the right shade. I feel like light worked really well. It does kind of have a pink undertone to it, but I feel like with the powder and everything else that I used, I made it work for me. So I'm really, really happy. As for the creamy, consistently is really creamy, and I feel like this is definitely buildable. I feel like this is more of a light concealer. I don't feel like it's medium to full coverage. On their website, it doesn't describe this concealer to be light, medium, or full coverage. It just says it's buildable, so that's the only thing. I do like that it doesn't have a scent to it, and I like that it does have a puff applicator. It kind of makes it really nice to apply it on. Obviously, it's not hygienic. You're not able to clean the puff applicator. It's going to build bacteria with time. And obviously, the packaging is kind of a big deal breaker. You're not able to really see, what shade you're purchasing, what's inside of it until you purchase it, and then, swatch it on, then you realize if it works or it doesn't. So that's the only thing. For $10, I feel like it is worth it. This could last you a really long time depending on how much product you're using. If you're looking for something that's really full coverage, this might not be it for you. But if you're looking for something with a natural finish, you kind of want something that, is very, very light, this will be something to try. I would highly suggest you to try it out and see if it works for you. And this is basically it, you guys. If you have any questions, comment down below. Ask away and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this concealer for today and how it held up on me. And I will see you guys all in my next video. I love you guys so much. Bye!